No price talk and no Lambos. This is not another crypto podcast. Welcome to Ignition. I'm your host, Gillian Gottsell, and each week we will be looking at the problems solved by blockchain. I'll be going deep with the people building the apps and communities which are changing the world around us. Hello and welcome to Ignition, EOS Dublin's podcast. Now today we're having a repeat guest on. Adam Dorfman was representing If, When, Then, an educational project aimed at democratizing access to education and linking jobs with young and old people in the tech space. And since we spoke last year, things have changed, and the model has changed, the name has changed, but I think the base priority is to getting jobs for people in the disruptive markets remains the same. Would I be right, Adam?
Yeah, that's exactly it. We've now sort of updated our company. We're now called the Talent Access Portal, and it's really designed to connect global employers with these disruptive education tech communities, the tech schools, and also the women in tech communities. So it's really a one-stop shop portal where employers can log in to tap and then to use our search index to discover these communities, and they can build relationships with them and post jobs directly into their job boards.
Brilliant. Can we talk a little about those three areas of where employees might be found? Tech schools. These are, although you have traditional universities and technical colleges, there's a lot of new tech schools emerging.
Right. So the main idea of our company, the main problem that we saw in the world is still the same. And that is that global employers and tech employers can't find enough talent to fill high in demand positions. So at universities are not able to produce enough talent or produce people with the talent, the skills that employers need. So now education has become decentralized, and it's moved into pockets of, tech schools, boot camps. It's moved into women in tech communities where people are practicing continuous learning and they're attending seminars to keep updating their skills. And you have a whole variety of these communities with different specializations that are really focused on continuous learning and skill building as opposed to getting a new degree. And so what we're doing is that we're helping employers discover these tech schools and providing each community with their own private job board to manage employer relationships and job opportunities.
So I think it's important you touched on the other two areas as well. So there's tech schools, which actually schools,
right.
Tech communities, which it's not just graduates, it's people who maybe have experience, but they're doing the continuous learning aspect.
Right, exactly. So employers can come to TAP, they'll be able to discover students graduating from these boot camps and tech schools, which are generally sort of a little bit more on your junior level. But then they could also tap into the communities, which are usually represented with a lot of industry professionals and that are continuously learning and improving on their skills and have sort of a deeper understanding of the materials and the industry. So they're our employers that use our platform will not only be able to discover new graduates, but also professionals that are in sort of a continuous learning community out in the world. And
then you mentioned women in tech. Now that's interesting, right, because you had the EOS ladies in Autumn Moss in, but women in tech, are those groups of those communities, are the tech schools, or are they both?
So women in tech, I think it's a really growing community sort of around the world, not just in the US and in Europe, but pretty much around the world. Women are realizing that they want to get in tech, but they want sort of a different way to learn, or they want to be able to sort of support each other in that process. And employers want diversity. At the same time, they want diversity because they recognize that it improves productivity in the workplace. They recognize that there are new ideas that are coming through. So one of the things is that these communities are springing up everywhere, but they don't have the resources to build their own job board. So we provide them with the software to manage their own private job board. And from their own job board, they're able to manage incoming requests from employers to build a relationship with them and to post jobs on their own network.
And I think key across all these three areas is that you said it earlier as well. It's not degree focused, it's skills focused. So
Right.
like it could be a 2-year course or less, or somebody or a professional who's upgraded into Rust or something, whatever. So if the whole focus is on the skill sets, not the fact you've got a fancy pants degree from a top university. Well, you can have that too as well. That's not, you know, but it's more the skills. Yeah.
Well, there like universities are offering certificates more and more. So they're offering sort of a 1-year certificate. Even Tesla recently started investing in 2-year colleges because they don't want to wait 4 years and they don't feel like the candidates are building the skills that they need for their Tesla operations, for their labor force. So you're seeing this kind of movement to skills training. And really what's happening is if you're participating in a community, you want access to the networks, you want to be able to get references, and you want to be able to improve your skills. You're not there for a degree, you're there for other things. And it's important that those communities have the tools to manage relationships with the global employers so that they can find them and provide opportunities to these candidates that are going through this continuous learning journey.
And what's interesting too as well, we've been speaking about the tech school communities and women in tech. It's free for them to use the service. The people who pay are the employers, but there's a freemium and then there's a two-staged area. Talk a little bit about what an employer might do at those 3 stages.
Yeah, so our business model is actually really simple and the key actions are really simple. The employer, it's a freemium service, so an employer would log into TAP and automatically be given free access to 6 schools, to the career centers of 6 schools, to the job boards of 6 schools. So the employer would use our search option. They would request access to the job board, and the community or school would have to approve that access. And once they've approved it, they can post into it. So up to 6 schools, the employer doesn't need to pay. So if they already have a relationship with the school, it's free. And they can hire unlimited amounts of people from that school. They can post unlimited amount of jobs with that school, but only up to 6 schools. And then if they want global access to sort of a network of women in tech that's not just in the UK or not just in the US, then they pay on a monthly plan to access 50 to 100 tech schools and communities and post jobs into it. But the one thing that's important is it's unlimited hires. So an unlimited job post. So the school is the one that acts as a curator. They either accept or they decline the employer, and they kind of manage that behavior. So is the employer offering really good jobs or bad jobs for my community? The school determines that and builds a long-term relationship with them.
Brilliant. And at the moment, as you say, the interactions is to accept or decline, but you've loads of future plans and future features for the site. What type of things will be available in the future?
Right. So one of our main, right now, we've been getting a lot of traction with tech schools and tech communities and employers who want access to these schools, who want access to remote skills, or they want access to tech talent. But in the future, some of the features that we're going to integrate is the opportunity for the employer to have a full calendar and interview scheduling so that they can manage the relationship. They can manage a talent pipeline with the different schools. And that's a feature that we're just a couple months away. So once we're able to build that, we'll be able to offer a lot more value to some of the bigger schools that would need this sort of additional functionality.
And also in terms of where you're at on your timeline. So right now you're loading up schools and employers. When do you think you'll see sort of a critical mass? How soon will a critical mass be on the platform?
Yeah, so I think we're probably like 2-3 months away from really delivering a lot of value. And one of the key things right now, we're offering 50 free enterprise packages to global employers. So this would give them access to over 100 schools for free, unlimited hires, unlimited job posts to some of the best schools and best communities in the world. So right now we're onboarding these employers. There's still some of this limited offer available. So if there's any employers that that are struggling to find talent and are looking for new places, then definitely reach out to me, adam@talentaccessportal.com, and we can get you set up there. And at the same time, we're onboarding the schools. So the schools we already have 20 schools that are participating, and every week we're getting more and more joining us. But there's a little bit of takes about 2-3 weeks for schools to really implement the solution. So, and communities. So we're probably like 3-4 months away from really starting to get some exponential growth where it sort of just grows on itself.
Well, it's exciting because it's live now. It's live. People are coming on board, and as I say,
absolutely,
there'll be a threshold, or there'll be another, but there'll be that tipping point where it's like add, and then it'll be the Airbnb for talent recruitment.
Well, it's basically a single portal for employers. It's a single portal to access the global tech communities in the world and diversity, so women in tech communities. So it's a huge value drive, value exchange for employers, but it's also a huge value exchange for all these communities that are working hard to provide new skills to their members. This is a way to kind of lower the administrative burden and build relationships with global employers with minimal effort, and a place where global employers can discover them, which they otherwise wouldn't be able to discover them. Usually what happens is employers hire in proximity to their offices. So they don't generally extend beyond that. So this is sort of talent without borders, be able to find the best communities, the best talent from directly from the communities. So employers can build a relationship with the community, get referrals from the organizers on who is the best talent in their community and the best fit. So it's the key to democratizing education globally is to empower these new tech communities and women in tech communities with the tools to manage relationships directly with employers.
Brilliant. No, it sounds amazing. And you're still on the EOS platform, and in particular, transparency is what you're looking for.
Yeah, so for us, we see distributed ledger technology as this immutable, transparent functionality. That's one of the key things. We want to sort of, I guess, put our money where our mouth is, and so, maybe that's the right expression, is that our key is that we want to create jobs through these new communities and retraining people and helping them get more skills. So we're going to publish it on our website to begin with so that everybody can see if we're actually creating jobs or we're not, and how many users we actually have on a platform or not. And then we'll progressively decentralize more and more features that contribute to improving what we call is the North Star metric. So our purpose for existing is creating jobs, and we should only decentralize functions that improve this performance. So decentralizing everything and not improving our performance is not necessarily the right way to go about it. We should decentralize the things that actually lead to a performance increase that the demand and supply wants to see.
Wow. Well, it's impressive that you're up, you're live, you're a real business, you're making moves. And all I can say is it's amazing because before it was a lot of it was aspirational, but now it's here. You're not just populating, you're actually building, which is very exciting. You've done well in this crypto winter.
Yeah, we've been really lucky, and we have a great team, and that makes a big difference, where we really identified the problem. Like at first, and I think most startups look at that, we thought that we wanted to create a marketplace for education to democratize education, to kind of show people where these new schools would be. But then we realized that if our North Star metric is to create jobs, if our key metric is really more jobs created through these new methods of education, then first we need to connect employers to these communities. once we do that, and we're sort of guided by what we call our North Star metric, our purpose, which is to create jobs, then it was easy to say, wait a minute, we need to adjust our business model so that we can provide an easy access portal for employers to tap into the communities and the talent that is sort of undiscovered at times around the world. So this is sort of this talent without borders to find the undiscovered talent in these, highly specialized communities.
That sounds amazing. So Adam, tell me, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
So our website is the talentaccessportal.com. Our Twitter handle is tapandhire, and you can reach me at adam@talentaccessportal.com. And, we're looking for global employers right now so that we can give them this enterprise value package that we value at $6,000 for free, so that it can discover tech talent, and definitely tech communities. So tech communities that want to be empowered and want to attract and manage global employer relationships and share jobs with their members more easily, then definitely reach out to us and we'll get you set up. And I think the early adopters of a platform like this benefit the most.
Of course.
So
we're
going to work extremely hard for these early adopters to get noticed and to find talent for employers. So I think the early adopters can benefit greatly from working with us right now. So definitely reach out to us if you feel like it's something that could be useful for you.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I love the way you pivoted your platform. It makes a lot of sense. It's live, it's happening, and there's some promo offers out there for employers, and there's opportunity for all those tech schools, tech communities, and women in tech. Yay! Go tap.
Yeah.